Alright, I've been looking forward to this. This is Battle Brothers. It's had a new UI update, and it really looks nice. The purpose of this game, this video, is to convince my friends who are watching this video, and any random person who might be watching this on the internet, that this is a good game, and you should buy it. Now, what we're doing here is we're looking at the different banners. There's one I want, and this is the one I'm going to go with. And you'll see I turned it on to challenging. I'm doing this because I played this game quite a bit. Normal is probably the best way to go. It really is normal. Challenging, one other reason I'm picking this is that I may die very quickly. Yeah, so if that happens, this is a good setting for kind of just a brief intro, and you'll get to see how not to do things. Now, I'm going to call ourselves, my company, the War Pigs. And that is definitely coming from somewhere, if you know where it's from. Good. If not, it's Ozzy Osbourne. Here we go. Tip: orcs rely on raw power and physical prowess. Yes. You wouldn't think of them as relying on diplomacy, traditionally speaking. Here we go. The last battle. It all went wrong. 2 days ago, the company was hired to track down Hogarth the Weasel and his band of raiders, but it was them who found you first. Ahem. Grammar. An ambush. Some joke about horses, cut short by an arrow to the throat. Arrows shooting in from everywhere and nowhere. Men holler and scream, a great volume before death. As the hail subsides, you draw your weapon with the rest of the men, only to collapse to your knees. An arrow has punctured your side. You shout in pain. I'm gonna come back to this. A harried glance sees the men charge without you to make a valiant last stand, met in force as steel clashes with steel. You meet eyes with the captain, a last nod before his throat is cut. You're left in command now of what few men remain, trembling in pain. You lean on your sword, and with all the will you can muster, slowly rise again. So, just to convince you I'm not a fanboy, I'm going to say one thing that I don't like about this game, and that is the writing. Okay? First of all, you? Who is you? I do not need to be in this game. The people in this game are the people in your mercenary group. You are just somebody that the narration talks to. And I know this is because the devs are influenced by XCOM, where the premise is that, like, you're just this amorphous commander who is running your program. But that doesn't really work for me in this game as far as immersion goes. My recommendation is, well, do what I do, which is I just totally ignore the bad writing. And if you want to roleplay, just name one of your men after yourself, or just identify with them. Yeah, they'll die, whatever, you know, so what? I don't play this game for roleplaying, and I honestly think that this writing style actually makes people expect something from the game that they should not expect. This is a mercenary role-playing. It's not a mercenary role-playing game. It's a mercenary management system, more like XCOM, and it's not a role-playing game. So don't go into it. People are going to die. Don't get attached. To the end! Heavy helmets can be hard to breathe in. I think that's a lot of time there. Oh, so somebody just got killed. And there's a guy with a sword. He's going in, and he misses. And, oh, he's dead too. And that is Hogarth the Weasel with the longbow, and he's off over there, and oh, don't tell me we have, okay, here we go. So this is who's up right now, Ulf with the bow and arrow. Ooh, this looks so nice. This used to be so ugly, and now it looks, oh, this looks beautiful. Ulf, you are going to take, these are the abilities, quick shot and aimed shot, 1 and 2 on the numpad, so you can just push 1 and 26 chance to hit, 26 chance to hit. It doesn't really matter, just go for it. Oh, and we hit him in the body. So there's 2 places you can hit, the body and the head. And the tooltip here tells you the head there is untouched and the body armor is falling apart, and a certain amount of damage leaks through to hit hit points. And so the armor blocks most of it and takes damage, but a little bit will hit the hit points, and that depends on the weapon and the armor, basically. And we're just going to do that again. And if you're lucky and you get a headshot, head armor typically doesn't have as much protection, and damage that penetrates head armor does more damage to hit points. It's basically kind of like a critical hit. 26% chance to hit again. Not sure why did that increase? Probably not. Here we go. Oh, and we miss, of course. This guy has an axe, and you'll notice these cost action points. We have 9 action points. It takes 6 AP, and it's going to take 2 AP to move here. So we move here and swing the axe, or we can just move. And you know what? Just move, because this is just the dumb tutorial. And we can't do anything else because we only have 3, so we could move away and take damage because they hit you. I'll just show you that. If you try to move away from combat, this is what happens. This is what happens, Larry. Oh! You get hit. And if you get hit, you don't get to move away. Alright, so this guy is going to move up. And as you can see, if you click to move, it tells you what actions you'll be able to take afterwards. He's not going to be able to do anything. Whatever, just move. Again, this is not a good way to play. It's just, this is the tutorial. It doesn't matter. You can't die. Oh, he gets hit. He has 1 hit point and no armor. He's totally whiffed. Oh, and there goes the bad guy. What'll happen now? Who cares? Let's just kill him. Okay, so stabby stab. Oh, he missed. And stab again, and nope, no good. Alright, and again, because you can't kill your own men, whack. Oh, axe does lots of damage. Okay, now let's just move in. Oh, he misses because the game won't let you die, which is kind of nice, because it used to be you could, and I did in the earlier version of the game. I actually got killed in the tutorial and reported the bug. And there we go, and there you go. Hooray, we win. We get some experience points and some loot, which got bludgeon. Yay. Oh, this UI looks so much nicer than it used to. Alright, so the war pigs, that's us. We have an objective to kill Hogarth the Weasel, and here we are, and unpause by pressing spacebar. The aftermath. You're alive. You won. The adrenaline fades, and in its wake you can't help but sink back to the ground. It looks like you won't be holding a sword again anytime soon. Gritting your teeth, you snap the arrow's shaft, your chest heaves for breath, feeling the pain well up in your very lungs. Most of the company lies dead. All those men you fought with side by side in the shield wall this past year, and Hogarth did justice to his name, running like the weasel that people mock him to be. What now? A voice says from behind. It's Wilhelm, who sits down beside you. See, like, if Wilhelm, your dude in the party, is going to be a character, then why even have you be in here? Like, I'm sorry, this is the last time I'll mention it for now, but when you read a book, do you need to be in the book? You just read a book with characters in it. You are not in the book. You don't need to be in the book for the book to, like, speak to you or connect with you. Nor does this game, okay? So, if the devs ever see this or whatever, just, I'm right, they're wrong. They should change the way this is written. And they should hire me to do it. Bedding his bloodied axe on his legs, you turn to him to reply, but before you can answer, he continues. The captain's dead. They slit his throat. He was a good man and a damn good leader, but all it took was one mistake. That makes you the one in charge now, don't it? Rupert the Merciless joins the two of you, still breathing heavily. Let's save the anointments for another day. I figure we give the men a good burial and return to Hatlund to collect our pay. The Weasel's men are slain after all, even if the man himself tucked tail and ran, and we ought to see to that arrow sticking out of you before we lose another man. Okay, so be it. Alright, return to Hatlund to get paid. Hatlund is... oh, this is bad. It's way over here across the water. Fortunately, at least in the last version, yep, you can actually walk across water. Don't ask why that makes sense. I mean, whatever. Here we go. That's a mighty belief in God there. Here we go. You do walk slow, but we're gonna make it. Sorry, I hope that's not immersion breaking, but the return to Hatlund. What a sorry display it must be for the onlookers as you arrive in Hatlund. 4 bloodied and beaten mercenaries down on their luck. The man who hired the company days ago Reinhardt the Burgomeister, I think, no doubt expected you to return in a more glorious fashion. Still, he welcomes you to his house again and offers bread and wine while a servant fetches a healer. Few words are exchanged except for the occasional grunt and wheeze as an elderly man with shaky hands tends to your wounds. Finally, Reinhardt the Burgomeister breaks the silence. So, how did you fare? Did we need any of this? Sorry, I said I wasn't going to complain about the writing anymore. A pin knife through your skin, the first of many stitches to come. You grit your teeth till you eat. See, like, you wouldn't even have to waste my time with this if you weren't trying to force this conceit on me. Okay, swear, that's the last of it. We killed all Hogarth's men, but he managed to elude our blades in the end. The healer waves around a glowing fire poke, suggesting he want... No, I'm not reading any of this anymore. So all his men are dead then. Well, that's... I see. A good thing you removed that threat for Hatmund, but that man truly is elusive. I expect to get paid for this. Reinhardt the Burgomeister gasps. Well, naturally. I gave my word, didn't I? 100 crowns for every man, so as I see it, that's 400 crowns for the 4 of you. He gestures toward his servant, who nods and hands him a wooden chest from which to take the pay. I wonder, may I make use of your services one more time? I'd very much like to end the headache that is Hogarth the Weasel once and for all, and I would pay you again, of course, another 400 crowns, shall we say. Wilhelm scoffs and turns to drink more wine, but Rupert the Merciless stands to speak. Yes, the company is in ruin, but we can rebuild it. You know, Wilhelm, he'd drink the crowns away and end up begging on the streets. And Ulf wouldn't fare any better chasing the women folk until one stove his rotted head. Okay, I get it. We need the war pigs. It's all we have. What say you, Captain? Wilhelm burps and raises his cup to you. Ulf playfully thumbs his nose and nods. You're their captain now, and your men look to you for leadership. So this is an extended quest. You can take it or you can ignore it. I've ignored it in the past when I was just like impatient and was like, just let me get on with this. But we will go ahead and do it. You can get a chance to get some really good armor out of it if you're lucky. As in, if you don't destroy the armor by accident. We'll talk about that later. Or I will talk about that later. Yes, we have unfinished business with Hogarth. Reinhardt the Burgomeister claps his hands in satisfaction. Very good. I mean, why else would he clap his hands? I mean, he claps his hands in anger? Why do I need to know this? Very good. Excellent. I'll need some time to find out where Hogarth is hiding his hide right now. Okay. Again. I'm not going to read this for the whole rest of the time. We're just going to get through it. In the meantime, I suggest you see about stocking up on supplies so that you'll be good and ready to end this when the time comes. I shall see you in a few days' time at the latest. As you leave the comforts of Reinhardt the Burgomeister's house and stand on the outskirts of Hatmund again, Rupert the Merciless seeks a word with you. What it is we need is more men, Captain. I know I gave a big speech back there, but we ain't nothing without more warm bodies in the ranks. Read, meat shields. We should hire at least 3 more sword hands, buy them some decent weapons, and dress them in the best armor we can afford. The man pauses to glance around. I bet this Bodunk town's got a desperate peasant or two looking for a new life, or we could travel to Hohenbrunch in the northeast. Them city folk aren't always as hardy as these country bumpkins, but we're more likely to find men with fighting experience stopping to rest there, and they'll sell better weapons too. That's what we shall do. Okay. And I know my voice does a lot of S's. I hope that won't come out badly. Alright, so here's the town of Hatmund, a small fishing village made up of a few humble huts. Here's our people. Ooh, sure footing. That's a good perk to have. So all your starting guys have a background companion. Used to be they would just have any random background, and this used to be just a perk like founding member. And I really liked it better that way. It was like, he used to be a miner, he used to be a peasant, he used to be a lumberjack. And then they would just get a bonus perk the same way as like you have these little perks here, like Bloodthirsty and Surefooting. This is good. So this gives us a defensive, 29. Bloodthirsty, all kills are fatalities. That just means he beheads everybody. Everything's a headshot, so you don't have to worry about zombies he kills coming back from the dead, unless he's using something like a spear, which doesn't allow that. And this is a bad one. Hesitant. Well, maybe. This character is hesitant to act. That means he just arbitrarily gets -10 to his initiative. Now, these stats are generated based on background, and so this background companion has a set like pool of stat ranges that it can give you, which are kind of good. I still wish, I mean, that was kind of the reason they did it. It's like, it was unfair when like you could get a background of like, I don't know, a grave robber, which was terrible, and then another guy with a background of like retired swordsman, which used to be really good. And they didn't like that randomness to it, but honestly, there's still like backgrounds that have pretty good setups, and they could have just like limited the starting options to one of those good setups. I really wish they'd done that, because I just think you miss out. This is the Fangshire Helm. This is something you get for backing the game as like a Uber supporter or whatever. This is really a good item that gives you a nice edge in the early game, and you only get it as like an additional DLC. Is it worth the money? Absolutely not. If you're thinking about buying this game, do not buy it for the DLC, because this is all it is. It's just one item, and you can read the description if you want, but I'm just going to cut to the chase. What makes this good is it has 60 armor for the head, the hit to your fatigue. All armor takes away from your max fatigue, which you need to do stuff, so heavy armor makes you more tired. Helmets as well. What's great about this is it allows you to see at night and negates penalties due to nighttime. Giving this to your archer means your archer can see at night. Having somebody who can shoot arrows in the dark is a nice edge. It's not going to win the game for you or anything, so you don't really need it if you don't want to pay for it, which again, like I said, I don't recommend. But it's nice. Yeah, attacking enemies at night and being able to shoot them with bows and arrows, especially in the early game, it's just nice to have that bonus edge. The only reason I paid for the DLC is because I like this game and I want to support it, and that's the only reason you should as well. If you start out just paying for it regularly, paying the normal price, that's what I did, and you should too, to see if you like it, and then if you like it and you want to support the game, then pay for DLC. Alright, so here's some guys we can hire. They all have these backgrounds. Like I said, Beggar is a terrible background, and it kind of gives you a brief overview of what you can expect. Fisherman's good, Vagabond's fine, Fisherman's fine. The price here will usually indicate kind of what they're going to start with as far as equipment. You can see some of it, like their armor, their weapon, and this guy's got a net. Honestly, we need just like people to stand in front of the important people and get killed. So I'm going to hire a beggar. Yes. Yep. I will hire this beggar. Okay. So for now, maybe that would be it. Temple not implemented yet. Here's the market, so you can get some equipment. Now you'll see here the fish are worth 70 gold, and they'll spoil in 8 days. You need these provisions to, well, to feed your men day to day, or else they'll abandon you. And the prices will vary based on town. So here, tools and supplies, these are very important. But here, you'll see it costs 364, but it's only worth 250. That means if you get a place that's actually manufacturing tools and supplies, they'll be cheaper there. Since this is a fishing village, fish are actually kind of cheap. The other thing that affects this too is you're standing with the community, and since we just like came back from a mission, they're kind of like, you guys are okay, so we'll sell you fish for just, we'll give you a few gold coins off. And to be honest, we're going to buy all these fish. And to do that, left click, thank you. Did not forget how to play this game, thank you. Okay. Ammunition, also it's going to be a bit expensive here, and I frankly don't want to worry about it. This percentage here tells you like how damaged the item is, and to repair it, that's what you need these tools for. And we actually already have 17 in our party, but if it's damaged, you'll get a discount on top of what it would normally cost. So this normally costs 135, but because it's at 90%, it's a little bit discounted. It might actually cost more if it was more expensive. I'm going to tell you that a pitchfork would actually be a nice thing to have, so we're going to take it. Spears. Spears are a must-have. We are taking a spear, as well as the wooden shield. We have to have that. Spears, just as in real life, spears are like the go-to weapon in warfare. Like, they're just, yeah, you gotta have spears. When you get better, then swords can be useful. They're particularly useful against unarmed opponents, but spears are just a really good workaround weapon. They do nice in formation, and for our current ambitions, they're perfect. And these pitchforks allow you to attack from a range of 2 tiles. You'll see that there. And that's also very useful. So, yep, here we go. I think that's all I'm going to buy here. Do I need this much food? No. But I'm hoping that I can sell the fish at the city that we're about to go to for an increased price. That city was the one that our friend mentioned in the beginning, and it's going to show up on our map. And so, yeah, I'll come back to the harbor some other time. Let's go ahead and go there and get some new guys. So, visit Hohen Brunch northeast of Hatland. That would be this way somewhere, northeast. Usually, there it is. It'll usually show you your destination with the little spinny coin. So I just clicked on it, and they're going to automatically path up there. Sorry about that. And here we have a supply caravan, and it'll tell you if you mouse over it who's in there. It can be very nice to kind of hang out with those guys, because the roads are dangerous and filled with terror. And if something ambushes you, the best thing to do is to make your way to the nearest caravan or look for these stone watchtowers and get the guys who are in there to come out and help you defend yourself. And if you ever see them fighting someone, it's kind of good to jump in there and just grab some junk off the battleground to equip your men with and make some money that way and get a little bit of experience. Now, the shroud is getting revealed as we walk, and the amount it gets revealed is going to be reduced, or increase, I'm sorry, as the dawn comes. So we're going to be able to see more and more around us as the daylight comes out. And we travel a little quicker because we're on the road. And you may be able to tell, but this is underneath a hex grid, so that's why it's kind of these angles to it. There's some peasants. Those guys usually get slaughtered on the road. And these little footprints tell you like who's been walking around. So you see the peasants came this way, so they have some footprints there. The trading caravan here, it's leaving footprints behind, so you can kind of stalk people if you're looking for them. And if they're going off into the distance, like into the wild, you can bet that that's probably bandits or goblins or something else that I'm not interested in dealing with right now. So we're coming to Hohenbruch, whatever. As the silhouette of Hohenbruch appear on the distance, Ulf seeks a word with you. Never been to Hohenbruch before myself, but I've been around. These big cities are expensive, much more so than Hatland and other villages like it. But the merchants have everything we need: weapons, armor, food. If there's a smithy in Hohenbruch, I'm never going to get it right. It's worth a visit too. Will be expensive for sure, but they'll sell real weapons made for war and not just farming tools. We could also browse the wares on the markup, or on the marketplace, of course. There's a few bargains to be made, but they'll also try to sell stuff that'll break apart if you so much as sneeze on it. Don't get swindled by them cutthroat merchants, Captain. Wilhelm sees fit to add his own opinion of what you should do. There's a good tavern. I say that's where we head first. Pay a round from the company's coffers to get all of us drunk for the night and raise our spirits. God knows we earned it. That's actually, in my experience, not such a great idea. Ulf shakes his head. You say that every time we stop into town, even when we ain't even done anything. I'll keep it in mind. So that was worth reading just because, again, the game is kind of teaching you how to play it in a thematic way, which I applaud. Alright, so we're about to enter Hohenbruch. Here we are. This is contracts. We don't need to worry about it. It says we already have a contract. You can only have one contract at a time. That's your mission. That's what you've got to be doing. Now, we came to hire some people. So, who do we have? Ooh, I really like Killers on the Run. Killer on the Run. So we're going to hire him, and I'll talk about it in a sec. And, by the way, I like Killers on the Run. They're not actually like something you should be like, ooh, I should get Killers on the Run whenever you see them. That's just, you'll know why in a minute. Day Taylor, he's okay. Let's just hire whoever's cheap. So him. Farmhands are not bad. And neither or the Fools? I kind of like Fools for the same reason I do Killers on the Run. So, there we go. Now, let's go to the marketplace. And... oh, that's not... oh, that's... okay. Oh, okay. Well, that was not a good investment. We cannot sell our fish here for any meaningful amount of money. And anyway, we need to equip our guys regardless. So, spear for sure. Shields, thank you. Armor, gotta pay attention to our money. It tells you up here if you mouse over how much longer your money will last. Same with your food. Don't do what I often do, which is like buy a whole bunch of stuff and be left with like 10 gold, and then my guys are like gone the next day because I can't pay them. And that's terrible, because they also usually take the stuff you just bought. I hope they fix that, because that was terrible. If you're gonna leave my company, you leave behind your armor and weapons. That's just rude not to do that. Okay. Let's look at our guys. Let's see what we need. So he has his spear and shield. He has what he needs. This guy has 56 melee, so I'm definitely going to prioritize him as one of the dudes I want to keep alive. He is fine for the moment. Who do we have here? Faint-hearted. That's terrible. And he's also just kind of crappy, period. 52, 47. He's even worse. The Day Tailor. He does have sure footing, though. That's a nice perk to get. Okay, so what I like about the Fools and the, where is he? Yeah, Killers on the Run. They have these higher chances to hit the head, which, like I said, are kind of criticals. So he has a 35% chance to hit the head, whereas your normal guys have a 25% chance. I just love that. Yeah, hitting people on the head, I like it. And if you'll notice this, our pitchforks have a bonus to hit the head too. So if we give Ulfert here a pitchfork, he has now a 40% chance to hit the head with a weapon that's not too terrible. So he is going to keep it, and I'm going to go ahead and keep him fairly well armored. Torn Helm. Wow. You are a horrible person. Yeah, jeez. So, usually what I do is I give the meat fodder that woodcutter's axe, because the woodcutter's axe is basically good for destroying shields, which I should have shown in the tutorial. That's kind of what they want you to do, and I just neglected it. But I rarely attack with the axe. I usually use it to split the shields, because shields give good defense. Even these like wooden shields get plus 15, plus 15. The Fool. He is also really kind of bad. Torn Helm. Who do I want? Who do I care about? All my guys are not really very good. Actually, you know, he may not have a good offense, but he's got decent hit points, and he's got some actual, like, defense from that perk. So I'm gonna make him my next, like, treasured member. Valued member. And, the Fool. I'll go ahead and keep him. That means... oh, you know what, though? The farmhand, since he has high hit points, he can actually maybe survive a hit, even though he's got, like, no shield, no armor, so I'll let him have that. And now Espen. He's got a good attack for a beggar. Okay, so we need to get some shields, helmets, and some weapons. Okay. We're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna cut this recording. So, the weapons we have available, well, let's get the shield. You know, flail, alright, whatever, flail will be fine. And what else? We have a bludgeon already, and they're not selling anything better. How many days? 6 days. Do I want to buy this? Padded leather? No, I do want to get a hat, though. So we'll buy that. 5 days. We'll be fine, but... yeah, it's okay. Where's our fool? There he is. The juggler. He will get this one, which, as you'll notice, also has a bonus to hit the head. Plus 10%, so I'm going to give that to him. What I like to do is I like to build killers on the run so that they eventually fight with these flails and they have like a really awesome % chance to hit the head. And, like, good times. Anyway, then there's this guy. Oh, I need one more shield. Okay. Buy one more shield, and that's gonna do us that one. Like I said, these are damaged goods, but they'll get repaired on the way, because we still have... You start with some weapons. Now, daggers. These are good secondary weapons if you... like, if your main weapon breaks, or... yeah, if you just end up in a situation where you need to switch to another weapon. And the nice thing about these is they don't have a fatigue penalty. So if you look at the spear here, maximum fatigue is -6. But these things, you can carry them for free, basically. And I like to carry them. And so we're going to give them to our main cast members, shall we say. And we now have 8 guys. Some of these men are not going to return from our next fight. But for now, we are ready to go for that first mission. And let's just check out the weaponsmith. Everything here is ultra expensive. But hopefully if things go well and we don't die, then we'll be back. And now, return to Reinhardt the Burgomaster in Hatland. I am not going to waste any time on that, because time is money. So, where are we? Over here. Got a bit of a trek. And there's a way to center back on yourself. How was that? Enter? Yes. You can push the enter key to get back onto yourself. If you hold down the enter key, woo, you just stay centered on yourself. It's kind of nice. Alright, so as we walk through the darkness and perhaps get attacked, hopefully not. Anything else? Well, for one thing, why bother making another video like this when there's already so many people doing it? Well, this is mainly, like I said, I hope to get my friends to watch this game and play it. I'll also say, like, oh look, here's some tracks that went off into the wild, probably bandits. Anyway, I really like this game. I've been frustrated by some of the playthroughs I've seen on the internet, and another reason is because I often find bugs when I play any game, especially in early access, and it gets frustrating when I can't, like, show the bug with, like, out a screenshot, and especially if it's a bug that, like, you have to replicate through gameplay. So I'm hoping by recording my sessions like this, especially these games that I really like, that if that happens, I can go and, you know, I'll have video of it, and I can just, like, share the link with the timestamp on the forums and be like, look over here, the inn is, like, not being, it needs a new line after the Burgermeister, not the inn, because it's bleeding on the scroll. Anyway, unfinished business. Reinhardt the Burgermeister awaits you impatiently, pacing back and forth as you put down your bags and muddy boots. Finally, you're here. I have good news. We got hold of one of Hogarth's former men. The hero who damn near killed you. I'm not gonna read that. We had a nice little talk with the man, and now I know where Hogarth's licking his wounds. I'm eager to rid myself of him once and for all. You give him a waiting look and then ask, well, where is he? Burgermeister stands up, as though... I don't need to know that. Oh right, he's hiding out in some small hut in the steppe to the northeast of here. I'll mark it on your map. Apparently he managed to gather more men in the short time since your battle. I suspect he knows the war pigs is on his heels like a bunch of bloodhounds. Good luck. We'll return with his head, and I will return in another episode because we're going to cut here, and